we need to focus on changing the system. It's just not putting more money at it. We have to change how we deliver healthcare. Quite frankly, that's our plan. And if elected, that's what we're going to do.
They can vote for us, and they'll have the same stability that they have had over the last 4 years, knowing that we are going to keep taxes low. We're going to be relentlessly focused on jobs and economy and investment and bringing people here and creating an environment where we're going to continue to grow. So that, to me, is the two big choices in this election. And I want people to vote for another United Conservative majority government.
Adam Soos here for Rebel News, and we are here with an AlbertaDecides.com update. In just a few moments, Premier Danielle Smith is expected to announce officially the writ drop, launching this election in earnest. Now, we've seen for the last couple of weeks campaign promises, door knocking, unofficial campaigning, but today, May 1st, is the day that this election officially kicks off. And it's very fitting that this announcement is taking place in this suburban southeast Calgary community, because it is in communities like this that the battle for Alberta will be decided.
Well, thanks so much. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Matt, for the kind introduction. We are mindful that taxes are the biggest cost for most Alberta families. So today, I'm pleased to announce a re-elected United Conservative government will create a new 8% tax bracket on income under $60,000. This means that every Albertan earning over $60,000 or more will save $760. That is $1,500 per family. Albertans earning less than $60,000 will see a 20% reduction to their provincial tax bill under this tax cut. This permanent billion-dollar tax cut will provide meaningful, timely tax relief to Albertans at a time when they need it most. It will result in real and significant savings that can be put towards housing, life's other necessities, planning for the future, or whatever else is a priority for you. After all, it's your money. You earned it. It's not the government's. The new tax cut for all Albertans is just the beginning of what United Conservatives will do to help Alberta families. We're also focused on the future. That is why a re-elected UCP government will continue to index all tax brackets to keep up with inflation, which will better shield Albertans from the cost of the federal NDP Liberal coalition's irresponsible spending, spiraling debt, and carbon tax. Today's commitment to lowering taxes builds on our no tax hike guarantee. UCP's pledge to not increase personal or business taxes. A UCP government would formalize this guarantee by expanding the Taxpayer Protection Act to ensure that no future government can increase personal or business taxes without first getting approval from Albertans in a referendum. And finally, a re-elected UCP government will again extend the fuel tax holiday until December 31st, 2023, ensuring Albertans save 13 cents per litre at the pump. This is a savings of around $10 on average every time you fill up your vehicle, and it will assist Albertans to offset the Notley-Trudeau carbon tax that makes everything Albertans need to live more expensive. A memo from the Parliamentary Budget Officer shows that the average Alberta family will pay $710 out of pocket on the carbon tax this year, after their so-called rebates. By 2030, the NDP Liberal coalition will be picking an additional $2,000 a year out of the pockets of Albertans with their carbon tax. We will not stand for this. A UCP government will work to axe the carbon tax altogether, because the best way governments can help address affordability is by ensuring that you, the taxpayer, keeps more money in your pocket. That is our UCP plan to help you keep more money in your pocket.
Good morning, Adam Soos from Rebel News. A lot has been made about the sort of Danielle Smith versus Justin Trudeau narrative, or the Danielle Smith versus Rachel Notley narrative. I wanted to touch on perhaps a different angle. What about Conservatives in Alberta who are apprehensive to support the UCP, or I've often heard the terms, are supporting the UCP only as a lesser of two evils? What do you say to them?
Well, look, you've got two choices in this election. I think we've got a choice with a UCP government that will move Alberta forward, or an NDP government that will move the province backward. And we've seen the difference between our two records. The NDP has demonstrated what they will do when they're in government. They increased taxes. They brought in a corporate tax increase. They brought in a carbon tax that we can't get rid of. They brought in changes to how farms are operated, and they've threatened now to do that once again. We know exactly what we'll get under the NDP. We'll get an environment where people are thinking twice about staying here. We saw 13 quarters where people left our province. We saw a decline in investment, decline in revenue, and decline in ability to pay for the things that people care about. That's what they're voting. That's what the choice is. They can vote for us, and they'll have the same stability that they have had over the last 4 years, knowing that we are going to keep taxes low. We're going to be relentlessly focused on jobs and economy and investment and bringing people here and creating an environment where we're going to continue to grow. So that, to me, is the two big choices in this election, and I want people to vote for another United Conservative majority government.
I'm now joined by Minister of Health, Jason Copping. I just wanted to ask you, with this election coming up, going back to 2015 with the NDP, afterwards with the UCP, everyone promises to fix healthcare and address these issues, but there does seem to be a little bit of, we'll fire the administrators, we'll hire the administrators, but the core issues are not being addressed. What is the UCP's plan, if elected, to address some of these issues, whether it be EMS, paramedics, wait times in hospitals? What is the UCP planning to do?
Yeah, well, thanks so much for the question. And actually, we are making progress. So, as part of Budget 2022, an additional $600 million into the system. Part of Budget 2023, just nearly $1 billion. But it's not just about the money. It's not, because just throwing more money at the problem doesn't solve the problem. It's actually engaging the people on the ground and changing the processes. And we're already having some success with that. As you know, the Premier and I appointed Dr. John Cowell as the official administrator last fall. A report came out after 90 days, saw a decline in terms of wait times for scheduled surgeries, ambulance response times, and also in emergency departments. Another release was just put out last week about further improvements we're seeing, and actually it's quite remarkable. Like here in Calgary, for example, I'm out door knocking, talking to constituents, talking to people who work in the industry, and they've seen the availability for ambulances right now has been higher than they've seen in years. So we are making progress in that regard. And so what are we going to do in the future? We're going to continue to invest in healthcare and make system changes to make sure that progress continues on. So, the trend line going down for surgeries, emergency department wait times, also for ambulance response times. But it's not just about that. Part of Budget 2023 is $1 billion to transform our continuing care system. We know, and we heard from Albertans and seniors and those with disabilities that they want to be looked after their homes to the greatest extent possible. So we're investing in that in terms of more hours for home care and improving the quality of the home care and average hours of service for individuals who need long-term care. Plus, we also know that just given the increase in the population and the aging demographic, we're going to need more continuing care spaces. We already built 1,250 this past year. Another 250 are coming on in the next few months, and we're going to expand that even further because our seniors need places, once they reach a certain level of complexity, that they can leave their current homes and go into a new home in a congregate care setting. And it's not only about continuing care. Like, one of the reasons I'm really excited about the work that we're doing is also on the primary care. That is the backbone of our healthcare system. And everyone should have access to a medical home, whether that be a family physician, a nurse practitioner, allied health professional. So we know we need to do more work. I was very pleased that with the Alberta Medical Association, we were able to reach an agreement to look at increasing different models or methods of pay to support our family physicians and to support more models of care. And also, we initiated a task force last fall called Modernizing Alberta's Primary Care System. We had an interim report that we funded. Their recommendations, part of Budget 2023 at $125 million. Their final report just came in. That's being reviewed, and then we will actually respond to that after the election. But that sets the path for us to actually support primary care, because we know if we have a strong primary care system, we can keep people healthier, keep them out of hospital, and reduce the demand on hospital, and also manage our costs.
Now, one last question. I know we've got some folks waiting for you here. With the NDP, they're always using the right language about just unconditionally funding healthcare. But do you think that there's a very real concern that some of this progress is set back and we just go back to some of the problems in the past the NDP's elected?
Yeah, we need to focus on changing the system. It's just not putting more money at it. We have to change how we deliver healthcare. Quite frankly, that's our plan. And if elected, that's what we're going to do.
Well, there you have it, folks. The election is officially underway. Danielle Smith, beyond sort of officially kickstarting this election, also made a significant tax announcement, a fiscally conservative effort to get more money in your pockets and get more money organically through taxpayers going back into the economy. She suspects, Premier Danielle Smith, that this tax cut will ultimately pay for itself with all the opportunities generated by people having more money in their own pockets. As always, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. For Rebel News, I'm Adam Soos. If you want more of our exclusive and truly independent coverage of the Alberta provincial election, be sure to go to albertadecides.com. Check in frequently. That's where you'll find all of our updates on this critical battle for the future of Alberta. If you want to support the journalism that we are doing, you can also help by chipping in there.